All right, guys, we are so excited. We are Stephanie and Joel Dunn, and wow, what a year! What an incredible 12 years. And we just came back from celebrating It Works 20th
20th
anniversary
anniversary.
party celebration.
Like it goes by fast.
It was crazy. So we are excited. Yeah, we've been in the company for 12 years. And what we're going to share tonight is I think you guys saw in the header vision. And so before I kick that off, you've always been a visionary. Mark is a visionary. He sees things. And so you want to be around those people that kind of give you that little bit farther ahead than where you are. And that's exciting because we're all like, okay, we just worked really hard for Christmas cash. And now what? Now we're like nap time. But don't lose, like take a break, but don't lose momentum going into the new year. So we want to share a little bit about vision, what it looks like for us. How have we been able to go through year after year? But I'm going to read you this. I actually broke it up into notes for Joel. So are you guys okay? Just me kind of reading this and then kind of walking you through and then sharing.
Yes. But before we get started, we're going to go back into the past instead of the future. So these last few months, you guys have been crushing it, getting the Christmas cash done. Unfortunately, there's not a report that I can pull to shout out everybody name by name. That was my goal. I wanted to do like a 200-hour shout out because of how many people got their Christmas cashes. But since that's not there, what I want you to do is if you got Christmas cash, put it in the chat so that we can all congratulate and all cheer you, because that is huge. I mean, $3,500 is coming to your bank account in a couple days. That's an awesome cash Christmas.
Hey, and I want to celebrate you if you did 4 and 1, because that's a big deal. That's where mass duplication starts to happen. So yes, we're super excited for that Christmas cash, but going in the past, we know if you can do 4 and 1, you can do anything. And it's all kind of in that mindset, in the vision. What do you believe? And so
it'll also make more sense as we talk more about why it is so important to do 4 and 1.
Yeah. So I wrote this was kind of my header. So you guys know, we're always looking back through the year, kind of analyzing things. What can we do better? There's wins that we want to celebrate. So celebrate the wins. Maybe you lost weight. Maybe you were really good at the beginning of the year and really consistent, and then life happened and then you got back on the train. So there's things that you can be like, what was I really good at? Why? Looking back at those things, and what can I do better? And the end of the year is always a great time to do that. But I wrote, personal fulfillment begins with a clarity of vision about the life you wish to design. And so going into 2020, what were some of those wins that you had for 2021? But what really is that life that you want to design? And you guys, you get to design that life. You control the day. The day doesn't control you. And you'll see that kind of as we go through these notes of what we kind of do. And people are like, how do you do what you do? I want to run my day. You guys, even when we started and we worked crazy hours and stuff, we still did the things that we wanted to do first. I mean, sometimes we have to do those things, and those are written down in your calendar, but then you get to choose with that other time what you do with that. So, here's something.
My point to go along with her header is Proverbs 29:18. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Same is true with your business. Where you don't have vision, your team will perish. So that's why this is so important to us, to show you what we see so that you can catch that vision, so that you will have the strength and the energy to crush this next thing coming up.
So number one reason that we fail to achieve our goal is a lack of clarity of our vision about the life we desire to live. So think about that a little bit. The reason for the lack of clarity is that we don't make time to think and put action and objectives to our vision, which equals to the little committed to actually achieving our goal in life. We often have a hard time thinking of what the end in mind will look like, let alone what your 10-year, 5-year, 1-year will look like. It can be overwhelming, and yet we don't take time to stop and think. A vision without a plan is a pipe dream. And so what we want to do is our end in mind starts when making a small change to stop being a spectator in our in our decision making and start being an active participant in our decision making. So I kind of want you guys to write that down a little bit. Is it's hard when you see people, they're talking about vision and they have these goals, but it's that one small change that we're going to come back to, and we're going to kind of bounce off a little bit. There's only so much time in a day, week, month, and yet we don't make the time to be clear, plan, and take action to our vision. We are choosing to let life happen to us versus living a purposeful life towards fulfillment. So how do we start? We ask by asking ourselves questions. So I'm going to put these questions up in the chat so that you guys have these. And again, I said take time. So there's a few days before the next announcement. And some of you have probably, maybe have never actually taken the time to write these down, and actually think about them and make the plan. And so here's the perfect time at the end of the year of having that vision board, having that dream board, that goal board, whatever the way that you want to look at it. What do you envision for 2022? So what gives you energy about life? That's number one question. I know that I'll ask you these questions and kind of let you guys get a feel of how we've answered some of these questions. What topic or activity lights up your insides when you're experiencing it? When you close your eyes, so that was number 2. Number 3, when you close your eyes and imagine what you're doing that personally fulfills you, how does it impact the people around you? I love that Joel had his eyes closed when I was saying that. And then what are you saying yes to and what are you saying no to? Because the no is sometimes just as important, or if not more important than the yeses that we say. So I'll have Joel upload those into the chat for you guys to kind of go over. But as we're talking about this, Joel, and with It Works, we know that we feel fulfillment when we help other people. Like giving back, it just feels so good to be able to give back. And this company has allowed us to do that. So with even like the 4-in-1, it feels so good to say, I helped a customer, I helped somebody start to get healthy, get on the right track, and maybe even help them see and start to believe that they can make some money with that, even, $100 or whatever that looks like for us. So I know it feels really good to be able to say that I can do that for people. I have purpose here. You all have purpose. You were placed in this business for a reason. And I truly believe that you're going to do good with that, but you've got to take the action to do that. So when you're writing these down, when you're talking about that and envisioning that life that you want, it's not, like I said at the beginning, if you guys heard that, a vision without a plan is a pipe dream. And that is something we all have probably had pipe dreams like, oh, we should do that, but there's no action behind that. And so when you're doing these vision boards, it's going to take action. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to take work. It's going to take you going, okay, I wrote that down. This is the time that I want to commit to my It Works business. So something that I would have out for you guys is have a calendar. What does your day look like? What is the day that you're going to design look like? And is that date day? Is that taking kids to school? Is there work in there? Where are you going to put It Works in your calendar to make that a priority? If that's something that you want to do to get to a full-time income or get to an income that you want, you've got to have it as a priority. You've got to put that plan, writing it down and taking the action to do that. Otherwise, it's just going to be another pipe dream. And that's what we don't want for you guys. We want you guys to take ownership of those visions that you see for yourself, because God put those visions in your mind. He is ready for you to take mass action and to get it done. And that's where I love this time of year. Like I just, you see Santa and you see all these kids and they believe so much. They believe they're really going to get what they asked Santa for. They believe so much. And I want you guys to feel that energy of a little child, of what it's like to be magical, what it feels like to have that life that you wrote down. Because it feels good when you get to design that life. And it could be weird. Maybe there's newbies on here like, what in the world are you even talking about? And that's okay too. But I think I'm going to go back when I just started. And I literally, you guys, envisioned being with Joel all the time. I married him to be with him. I didn't marry him to be away from him. And that was such a huge, I don't want to say a dream. It was a goal. It was something I knew would happen because I wanted it so bad to spend time with him and my daughter. And so how was I going to make that happen and work?
And that's how we actually ended up getting into the franchises, because we knew that if we did that, we would be able to work together at something. And then we
Mhm,
all know how that ended up with the financial crisis
mhm.
of 2008. And then we both had to go do separate jobs. And that gave us the desire to find a vehicle that could cause us to get back together and work together. And, thankfully, God put It Works into our life, even though Steph wanted nothing to do with it and I wanted
Mhm.
everything to do with it. It gave us that ability, and it'll give you that ability too, to take it and put it into motion and to use it to create the life that you want.
Yeah. So I think, that was something new that I didn't know that it was going to be It Works leading us together to be able to do this. But that was definitely a vision, a dream, something I wanted, a goal so badly. And so when you're writing goals, dreams, and you're looking for your future, um, you're going to write these down, and you're going to, some of them will feel like I will do anything to make that happen. And I think that's okay to write those down. What would you do? Like if you're a mom, you would do anything to make sure your child is taken care of, healthy, whatever, put food on their plate, right? You're going to do whatever that takes. And so some of those are the small goals, small
Mhm.
visions. Some are huge. Some seem so unrealistic, but you got to stretch yourself over the next year.
What you said right there, I heard a quote that, so for mothers, this was something that kind of blew my mind. It says, so many of you are willing to die for your children,
Mhm.
but how many of you are willing to live an extraordinary life as an example for your children?
Mhm.
That one really hit home. That was like 2 weeks ago that I saw that one.
Oh, I haven't heard. I mean, we're constantly pouring
Mhm.
into our minds, you guys, because there is so many crazy people out there that think we're crazy because we're designing a life that we want. And yet they can choose that. You get to choose whatever you want. I'm grateful that you guys have It Works because we have the ability to do as much with it or as little as we want with it. The business works when we decide to work. And over this past weekend, I was around people that were just fire. I actually see Chantel on here and I just love her. I'm disappointed. Her hair always smelled like this purple, the Aussie stuff, whatever hairspray. And I still can smell it. I didn't
Uh,
smell it this weekend, Chantel, but
I
anyway,
think it was Steph's nose. Yep.
um, it's just, when you're around a circle that just flames that fire even more, it just is so good. And I saw people that were just getting it done, that sometimes they've been in the company for maybe a while, and all of a sudden they just decided to kick it in over the last couple years. um, and it's inspiring to know that we get to make a decision. We don't have to worry about our past. Our past is our past, but with vision, it's our future. Where are we going? Who are we going with? What is that? Who do you want in your circle? Do you want people that are fun? Do you want people that are cheering you on? Do you want people that you can lift up and that they'll lift you up? Sidelines, cross line, it doesn't matter who that circle is. I love my It Works people, but I also have people outside of that have a higher caliber, that make a lot more money than we do. And I want to be able to stretch my mind even further and go, what did they do? How can I grow and how can I learn from them? So as you're writing this down for what's to come, write those down too. What type of leadership do you guys want? And I know me and Joel are really excited for some of the things that we're working on for diamonds and above, triples and above, to have a little bit more leadership mindset stuff, because we know that we get hit with a lot of life, and we want you guys to understand and know, how do we handle these things? How do we grow and how do we get through life? Because 2021 for a lot of us, and especially me, has been personally the hardest year I've ever experienced. And I feel like it's setting me up so much more for what's to come for 2022. We have learned a lot, and we've simplified with It Works, with the 4-in-1 and a new product coming out on the 15th. And I'm excited to share who I met this weekend to give you guys some of the secrets. That's really driving me crazy to give you guys some of the nuggets, because I said to him, you're either going to like me or you're not, because I am so red. I'm going to drill you, and I'm going to ask the questions that need to be asked, because I was there for you guys. Like, I want to be able to come back to you and be like, we're jumping the gun on that stuff.
So guys, here's the thing. So at the beginning, when she was talking, something that was a nugget in there that some of you who are probably like astute personal development people, you heard something in there from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and that was begin with the end in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that? Especially with this business, because you have the ability to, if you plant your flag on what you want, we can work backwards to show you how to get it through this 4-in-1 system.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so important. But also, it gives you the ability to break down something that you think is immeasurable and so hard to accomplish, like eating an elephant, down to bite-sized things that you can do daily to keep you on task.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I love about this is if you just improve 1% every single day for an entire year, if you just do 1% better each day, that compounded throughout the year, at the end in December of 2022, I guarantee you'll look back and not even recognize the person that you were in December of 2021. So make sure that you're really, like Steph said, honing in on these things. If it's a car, go lick the leather. If it's a house, go walk through some houses. If it's a vacation, start talking to people that have gone there. Start asking for those things and the people getting around them. Ask how you get around these people. You know, these are all things that you have to take action on. I have this that I posted on Twitter today. It says, busyness doesn't equal importance or significance. Results are what matter, not the appearance of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part that brings the significance is when you're doing something that helps benefit and bring people along. And that is why we love this business so much, because we get to help you.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, after coming from an event, that just seeing, the vision that Mark had for It Works is only just begun. Like, okay, he's now been around 20 years. He wants the next 20 to be better than the first 20. And he's learned a lot. I think that's what's exciting. We're a debt-free company. He knows what works. He sees things differently than what we may see. He knows he doesn't want to follow in the line of what somebody else is doing. He wants to create his own lane and have other people follow us. And I think one of the things that, as me and Joel are talking about, what spoke to you? What did you hear? What did you listen to? And of course I had fun, but I'm always going, this is what I want to be able to do for our newbies, for our team, for people that have been around for years, is I just want to support each other more, because there are so many incredible people in It Works that have this heart and this desire to do so good with it. And that's what, I see is how can Joel and I give back at a whole nother level, with our minds and being out in the field and doing those things and hugging you guys, because I know that's one of those questions. What fuels you? You fuel us. Hearing you, seeing you, knowing your stories and where that's going. And that's part of Mark's vision is he hears your stories and he wants to bring along even more people. He just sees, his lens is like the wide lens, and we're looking through like the little pinhole, like fishhole, like photograph, we're just looking at this little circle of, okay, we're going to go for the next 4-in-1. And then we're going to go for this bonus.
Yeah. And Mark's on panoramic.
And he's like, oh, but you don't really know what this 4-in-1 is doing long-term for your business. And that's exciting because Joel is a researcher. He's a reports guy. And so what did you read just the other day of, we love it when you guys crush it and you rank up really fast and you do those things. But there was something that you read that struck me. He's going to find it because he's always reading and then sharing me nuggets.
It said, I would argue that more people are happier in life with slower growing, more sustainable business.
All right. Do you guys agree to that? Like, drop me a 1 in there.
Flash in the pan, explosion that fizzles.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so, so good, because you guys, I did not know anything that I was doing at the beginning. I had no idea. I knew I wanted diamond really fast, but everybody's fast is different. And so what I learned is I learned a lot about myself. I grew, I started to understand the product because I did not know how to explain it at the beginning. And that's okay, because that's how you learn and you grow. And we built relationships. I wasn't like 50 loyal customers in a month. I got my fourth loyal customer on day 30, but I was building relationships with people. I was helping them learn about the product, adding more product to their regimen. Hey, are you working out? What kind of food are you eating? And so sometimes that time, that relationship part, and building that sustainable will sustain you for so much longer than a quick flash. Now there's seasons for we want to run. So don't let that, I'm a runner too.
Like 90-day Christmas cash promotions.
So there's that. But now, okay, who's serious? Who wants to stay in this? And there's some people that do, they get in and you're like, where did they go? So that's okay too. But if you're in this and you're Zoom on Zoom every week and you're learning and you're growing and you feel like you're the tortoise, it's okay, because you're going to be in here for a long haul, sustainable. You're the greens are ones that are going to look back and be able to help us understand and put us back in line.
Slow progress is still progress.
Mhm.
Just make sure it's progress.
Mhm.
Never slide backwards. Always think to yourself that 1% better each day.
Okay.
Do something for your business that moves it forward every day, no matter what.
Yeah, that's so true. So
Never go 2 days in a row without doing something for your business.
and if you haven't ever done this, get a calendar out for the next, I would say the next year. So 2022 calendars are out. I always go to Target and get mine. And it's always just something like simple like this, just super easy. I just slide in my paper. So
she
right
gets
now
something that she can put lots of motivational stickers on.
Yep, I love that, because I want I want good things all around me, you guys. So yes, I have it all over. I drink with a cup that's good, stickers, whatever. So what do you want fill in your mind? So yeah, I would say go put some stickers on your notebook. It'll make you feel good and it's pretty. So
or Trapper Keeper, whatever.
But do that, get a calendar. If you have to print one out, get a 4-in-1 worksheet, because we want to make sure that you're tracking it, you're starting to understand it, charts, so that all those are in your notebook. And then take the time, if you work, write in the days that you work. Is there time during that day that you can put in post, reel, TikTok, whatever that is that you want to do in that day? Because if it's written down, you're more likely to do it than just thinking about it. And that's what we want to do a better job of this year for you guys, is to really utilize your time smartly. And how do I do that? Because yes, I have newbies coming in, I have leaders, and I have a lot of leaders. So there's always, and we have life, right? And so there's times that people are like pulling at me, but I understand these are the things I need to get done first, because that's a priority. And then I go back to the next thing that's on list. So if you have dinner time, write that down. You sit down with your family every night at 6:00, then you let people know that, hey, this is my dinner time. Own your time. Don't be afraid. Leaders, if you have a team page or if you're talking to somebody that, you take a Sabbath, this is okay. People respect that. You just have to let them know this is, hey, if I don't answer, this is why. This is my time that I'm with my family, or this is what's going on. I'll get back to you. Meantime, you're always welcome to go on team pages and look for anything that you need to look for, so people won't die.
Time is like money. If you don't tell it where to go, it will disappear.
Oh, so good.
So make sure that you are planning out. And the thing is you need to own your time, or your time will end up owning you.
Yep. I love that. So those are some great nuggets just to kind of share that. So where are we going for 2022?
To the moon.
I get excited when I see when I see simplicity, when I see something that's duplicatable, because I came into this going, if a kindergartner can do this, then anybody can do that. And we don't want to overcomplicate things. And you guys, all of us had to learn 4-in-1 and how did that fit and look. And I had to go, okay, well, I was used to doing this, but now I'm training a little different. So we're going to put some different training out there to show you how would you start a newbie? What do you want to do? Because there's 30-day windows and there's a 90-day window. And I love that there's some sense of urgency, and yet it gives us some time to develop. And those are two key things that I love. I'm like, okay, kindergarten can do 4-in-1. Like we got this. And you can do it any way that you want. So obviously we have TikToks, reels, in person, expos, parties. We can do anything that we want to do, but you've got to write it down. What are you going to do? Where do you feel comfortable at your strong suit? But what do you want to work on for 2022 that's going to take you to a next level? And I think you guys should do reels. I don't know if Ashley Renaud's on here, Allie, Amy, whatever, anybody that's doing reels, like that just took off for people. So, don't be discouraged too if it doesn't take off right away, because it takes time, it takes consistency to make that decision. So what are you going to commit to in 2022 to grow your business? What does that stuff look for you? So I know reels for me is something that's where I want to be stronger in. I know my strong suit already. So that's for me is Facebook and having the confidence to talk to somebody on the phone. Like, I just love that. So, how can I just do better on that? Some new product is coming out. I'm excited for that on
A
the
couple more
15th.
days.
Did anybody see it kind of slide through a couple weeks ago, what that product was? Like, drop me a 2 if you guys saw what that was. So it might not be a secret. Okay. So while we were at the 20-year anniversary party, birthday party, anniversary, whatever they were, party of all parties was, Mark kind of introduced. How did he introduce Doug? Did he really introduce him or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Doug was the consultant that got hired in, that did a bunch of amazing things, came up with the 4-in-1, developed all the things that were going. And he announced him as the interim CEO.
Mhm.
So while Mark is busy looking for a new CEO, he's put Doug in a place to basically start steering us for that next level of what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. So who is this guy? And I think, if you went back on a couple other of the Zooms that we've had, he has gone in as a consultant to a couple other networking companies and taken their business doubled over years, a year, 2 years, whatever that looks like for those companies. So he's not afraid to get in, to look to see what's working. He will point out what is working and what needs to change. And that's the type of person that you want in your corner. So I went over to him and introduced myself. And I said, you're either going to like me or you're not, because I feel like I am not only the voice for Joel and I, but for you, for what would you want to ask if a CEO was to come in, whatever his title is, what does that future look like for you? And so as I had the time to talk with him, he's very passionate. He's very excited to prove something. That is one of the things that I'm like, when you have somebody that's passionate and is leaning in and is hungry for change and telling you, hey, we're not going to do a 75 hard, we're going to do a 14 easy. Like, he's coming up with all these things. Like, I'm like, okay, keep telling me more. He's just hungry to blow this up. So they saw what 4-in-1 was doing. We're going to get more and more people learning and growing with the 4-in-1. I think the upfront, somebody getting $500, you guys, don't count yourself out of, if you didn't hit the Christmas cash, $150, $350, $500, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of money.
That's like I was saying last night. That was something that used to normally get somebody to that kind of income 2 or 3 months in. Now you have the ability with 4 and a friend, and then going out and doing it again with somebody, getting your tier 1 and your tier 2 done in as little as a week. I know a lot of people did in a week. It's incredible.
And a lot of that came down to mindset and believing and understanding, like, hey, are we really going? Is this really, where's our vision? Where are we going? And talking with Doug, that excitement that he had, and it was me, Christy Christensen, and Carrie Young, and then Denise Walsh came around for a little bit. And I just sat, you guys, here's the boldness of Stephanie that I'm never not going to ask a question, is Christy was standing there and Carrie, I think Denise was right there too. And he's sharing some of the things about the product, like what's in it, the benefits of the product. And Joel wasn't standing there. So I'm like, okay. And I asked a really important question. You didn't know the answer. I said, yes, you know that answer. But if you don't know it, that's okay. So I pulled out my phone and I said, go ahead and put your phone number right in here. And so now I have Doug's phone number in my phone because I'm like, no, we can have this talk later and you can tell me exactly what I need to know, because here's the deal. I need to know what it is and how am I going to market this to my customers and to my distributors, because that's the important thing, is we will be able to do that. So what are you, I'm like, what are you pointing at?
Chantel was laughing just because of the fact that I was walking around trying to find you all night long.
Oh yeah, he was.
But Herm knew where you were.
Yeah. Thanks, Herm. Tell Chantel, tell Herm, thanks. I was busy getting the new CEO's phone number because I want to know how we can do this. So you guys are going to love the product. You're going to love the benefits of it. I was excited about it. You know, being even a plant-based, like for us, that's a huge thing to be a plant-based product. I don't know if I should say what else I know on that, but
that's about as far as you can go.
Just know that before the new year, to have the smoothie in our hands is going to be a big deal. But he was not afraid to actually sit down and talk to the leaders and go around and say what he's excited about, what he's going to do, what his vision is, having in-person events, getting around people like that. That was so important to us, you know, having COVID and having just things happen for, you know, 18, almost 2 years. March will be 2 years. It's just crazy. And you guys, things don't just happen overnight. So we don't know what was behind the scenes of what they were doing and planning for us. And so some of the times do we get frustrated to the leader, like we can't have things fast enough, right? But we don't know what their vision is, what they're seeing behind the scenes. And so we have to have massive amount of trust to know, okay, they've got our back. They know what they're doing. And I believe that. So talking to Doug, like I said, you can read people when you're around them and that energy and what they believe. And I 1000% know he has something to show us and prove that he's going to take this company and just double it, triple it, just keep on going. So if you are excited about that, like I was like, okay, I want to double our checks. I want to triple our checks. I want to keep on going. I want you guys to have that. And it takes with trusting, getting in the trenches. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go 100 miles an hour. Understanding that 4-in-1 is simple and it's duplicatable, and keep doing what you are doing. What I'm excited for is some of you girls that I've seen, all of a sudden you saw you could do it in the last week. Even if it was a 4-in-1, you saw that you had the ability to do what you thought was impossible in your mind for so long. And so now you just retrained your brain to go, I can do it. I'm in momentum. I believe it. I've got these customers. I did things that I didn't think I was ever going to be able to do. And you guys did it in November and December when most people are not looking. So that's a huge, huge win. I hope you guys understand that. Like, I want to hug, like reach in and hug all of you, because that is such a big deal, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Like to have such win. Enjoy your family right now. Be excited for what's to come. You can share all of that. I mean, what is today? The 13th, 2 more days. The new stuff's coming. The new promotion is coming.
The cool thing is kind of, if you were on the call last night, put a 1 down there. If not, shame on you. You need to get on the Sunday night calls. That's where all the announcements are. Mike and Cammie kind of said that, hey, guess what? We're going to let you count all your 4-in-1s from December 1st.
I think the 10th.
Through.
I gotta clarify the date.
And that's what's going to end up happening, is you're going to be able to double dip on the ones that you've already used.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what the date was. I just heard December's are going to count for something.
Yeah.
So that's huge. So we've not ever gone in, you guys, over the almost 13 years that we've been in the business, going in with like a pre-bonus before conference. And then starting in mid-December, going into what we know year after year is our busiest time of the year. Going into, it's like the day after Christmas, everybody's like, oh, I got to lose weight. Oh, I want to make money. So you guys are going to want to utilize that. Be aware of, in this in any industry, they know when their highs and their lows are. There's just going to be seasons that are high, and there's going to be seasons that aren't as high. And so it's not because of what you're doing, but you have to plant. You have to be a farmer. You have to sow. You have to take care of the crops, and then you will be rewarded. And we watched it on church. Really, I was like, man, I didn't realize, yeah, you got to be buried in the dirt to grow and to see the fruit of that labor. And I was like, okay, God, I love the dirt. Like, I get it. This year's been dirty for me. But I had a lot of growth. I learned a lot about myself. I gave myself a lot of grace. And so it's okay to look back and go, oh my gosh, I did awesome through the dirt. So fruit is coming. Like it's coming. It's always buried before it's fruitful. And so I'm excited. So we just know that the beginning of the year, it's like fire, right? For weight loss, to get healthy, to make money. And so going in, knowing, make that decision now to be prepared for what's to come. And, having that calendar out is so important, because you need to write that down. If you did not know, you need to make sure that you follow Cami Pentecost, Mike Patillo, Mark Pentecost, because they still continue to do the Sunday night calls. Monday night, 8 p.m., we will continue to do the Zooms. We're going to switch it up with a little bit of different stuff through the year. But that's something that will always be on. So you guys can we might change the Zoom ID and password for 2022. But I want you guys to know Monday night, 8 p.m., we always try to do a Zoom of what's working, maybe some vision casting of what's coming. But we like to know and hear from you what's working. How can you help share? So whether that's a ruby, a diamond, a double diamond, ambassador diamond, doesn't matter. We want to hear from you. So one of the things that I want you guys to take note of is, I heard Cami say, advocate for yourself. If you want to share, which we all should be sharing, and you want to be noticed and you want to be out there and helping people, don't be afraid to reach out to myself and Joel, to your leaders, to be like, hey, this is what's working, and I want to share that. And Rachel Jones, still hands down, her and even Ashley Fluger, they've always helped me with a lot of things. Rachel's always willing to give scripts, host to post. These are the things that are working. And so, look at how much she's been rewarded. Her hands are always out, giving. And so she's receiving. So it's no wonder she's a top earner with It Works, because she just gives to everyone. So be like that. Be the one that wants to give when you see something working. Let people know, because there's plenty of fish in the sea for everyone, and the right ones will come to you. So I want to make sure you guys know that. So Doug is working in small, like, I love this 30, 90-day windows. And I love that, because it's like, okay, you guys are like, oh, I just got done with Christmas cash.
Yeah.
Nobody
knows anything about a 5-year plan anymore, let alone a 1-year plan. We got to get people on quarterlies.
And what I love is this 30, 90-day window is like, when you're running I just saw this like little mouse. So you guys ran hard for 90 days. But I saw a picture. It was like 3 rats in water, and they were treading, like trying to stay above the water. And then after, I don't know, a minute, whatever it was, they were giving up. And so the scientists pulled the little mouse out and dried them off. And then they put them back in, and they wanted to see how long after they're tired and they're about ready to give up, because they just start to drown, and they pull them out just before they drowned, and they put the mice back in. How long do you think those mice went before they gave up? It was, you guys, like hours.
60 hours. Because they
treading.
knew that somebody was going to come and rescue them. They had hope that somebody was going to get them out. So they went for 60 hours, where prior they lasted 5 minutes.
Like, they were just there. So they believed that somebody was going to save them or something. And I was like, man, this is the best thing ever, because I feel like this 90 days is, we pushed you because we believe in you. We see what you're capable of. And you're like, okay, I can take a little breather now. But now this next 90 days, you're going to see things that you've never thought you had the energy to do that will be kind of like ease, and you know it, and you're going to believe it, and you're going to have more success than you had, because we've just tested the waters with you guys for the last 90 days. And so on the hardest, like craziest time of the year, tested the waters and switched things. And it felt weird. And how am I going to do this? And I liked my ways before of just gathering customers and doing those things. No, we completely switched it on you. And it's okay, because I know what that can lead to long term for you guys.
Yeah, there was a method behind this. Why do you think we were doing this last quarter? Because guess what we're getting ready to go into? Our busiest time of the year. It took us a couple months to reprogram you. And now this last month, everybody finally caught on. And now we've got everybody running in all gears going forward for when all the craziness happens.
Yeah. So you guys, we know that the company is worked out kinks, done different things. They're willing to change. They want to have massive growth. They know, that this 4-in-1 is going to work, that's working, and they see that even more growth is going to happen. They're laying out new product. Doug gave this window of, hey, we're going to have this product, then we're going to start unveiling some other new products and packages and things that he just sees this vision of what is going to work for us. And that's where I was excited talking with him for so much. Where Joel was, I didn't know, I didn't care. I was just asking Doug for myself. But if you could ask him any question, drop this in the comment. What would you want me to ask him? And some of the things that I've asked, I'll share here after the 15th, after some of the stuff is dropped and what we'll be working on together. But I would love to know, because I'm not afraid to get on that. So new year, new exciting, scratch your past. If you're like, that was a horrible year, whatever it is, maybe you never got started, maybe you had a terrific year, it's still the past. And we want you to see, where are you going for that 2022? How many people are you going to take with you? What kind of fun are you going to have? What are you going to give back? What brings joy to you in your life? And do more of those things. We want you guys to own your life, and not the day own you, not the other way around. And it doesn't have to be like you're a millionaire to run your day. I think that was something, we get to enjoy life and be grateful for everything, every single day, no matter what income level is that you're at right now. So I want to make sure you guys know that. Live in a space of gratitude each day. It'll start your day out right, getting that mindset right. Who do you want in your circle? Who do you want to be around this year? Who is somebody that you want to meet? And you guys got to start writing that down. You got to go, I know this is who I want to meet, who I want to be around. How is that going to happen? I don't always know, but I know when Joel and I write those things down, it happens. Like this year, one of Joel's dreams was to meet Ed Milet.
I had 2.
Yeah, you actually, it was a fantastic year.
I crushed 2 this year. Ed Milet,
and I got mine.
And Krug.
And I got mine.
And you got Jamie Kern Lima.
So, and a couple extras. But I think, it sounds so crazy, but I want to pick their brains. I want to know, what are they thinking? How can I be a better person? Ignore the noises and let the right voices in, because it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get taken down. It's easy to get depressed. And one of the things for me is, I know when I start feeling that way, I'm human, you guys, I recognize it. And I'm like, nope, I need to get out. I need to go walk around in Target. I need to get around people. I need to do something. I need to say something nice to somebody in a text, and to switch my day. So I want you to know that you have the control to do that. And when you start to recognize that and you start to own that, it feels really good. So that's not even money associated. That's just starting to get that mindset right. And then everything else follows. You always say, 90% of this business is mindset, and the rest is knowing how to do it. So really, we wanted to give you guys a little peek into the new product is amazing. Doug shared, did you have anything else that you wanted to share?
No, you got it.
He's usually got some other quote. He always drops the quote, and then you guys are like, Joel Dunn said this. And I'm like, I wasn't even on the
Yeah,
Zoom.
go out and retweet Steph.
No, you
Not
don't need
Joel.
to reach. You don't need to retweet me. I'm good. I don't need to be in the lights. I'm just down here working. That's what I do. Like I stay in my lane. Don't worry about anything else going on. I'm very just focused. I'm committed. And I'm more committed, for 2022. I just feel really good on some of the changes that I have wanted to do. And life happened and I started letting that slip, but recognized, nope, that's not okay. And these are the things that I'm going to do for 2022. So we'll do that. If you guys want, I'll put out a dream board party Zoom. We haven't done that yet. Usually we get together locally or whatever, but I would love one before the end of the year. If you guys want to jump on, maybe you've already done one and you just want to do it, and we'll have pajama party, Christmas pajamas, and make your fancy Reds drinks or whatever.
And prizes.
And fun, because I love gifting things. So you guys are always welcome on. And remember, one of the things, be gracious on each side. I know that leadership definition for each of us is different. And so if there's something that you're like, man, Stephanie doesn't do that, I don't know unless you tell me. If there's something that you're like, oh, I wish these guys would really do that, then let that leader know, because we don't know what we don't know. And the same thing, I can't assume always like, well, they should just know how to do that. So I've learned a lot this year of giving each other grace on both sides. And so just know that the heart of who we are is always to develop and make you guys the best possible way. Leaders, if you've been in for a long time and you're like, I'm just ready for more leadership training content, then we'll just do more of those. And then I just really love this is what works, this is how to do it type Zoom. So, but
and guys, for those of you that don't know, I do the personal development Zoom every Tuesday morning at 8:30. Look for the It Works personal development group and get yourself added, or just go to the replay version of it on my podcast, as well as the YouTube channel for Help Made Millionaire.
Yeah, I love that you've always done those and you share great things. So I'll have you close it out in prayer for us, and then we'll say good night.
All right, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this amazing group of leaders that are going out and changing the world. Just that ask that you would bless them this holiday season, protect them and their families. We know that you are the reason for this season. We're so thankful that you came for us. Just ask that you would continue to bring the right people along to partner with them, give them favor in everything that they do, and multiply everything that they put their hands to. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. We love you guys. Thank you for always showing up, giving me grace for a little bit of a hard year too. So I'm excited for 2022. And then I'll get the Zoom up for the Christmas party that we're going to do. And then I'll see you guys again next Monday night. But we love you all. Have a good night.
Guys. See ya.